don't stumble it. I'm doing water. Everything is not funny. They will play me fun. I play. My neighbor press one. He goes the fun.
ABC Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
This one is say don't stumble it. I'm doing water. Everything is not funny. They will play me fun. I play. My neighbor press one. He goes the fun.
Happening. Stop. From top to bottom. Enough. Enough top to bottom. Enough top to bottom. So good evening. For some reason, my internet appears to be lagging, but I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, please, may I know from which part of the world you're joining Mazezoke in this evening conversation. And I have thought long, as many of you have requested, that I have these days fixed on time. You know, sometimes if you're always on the way, you will never know. You know, you don't want to really fix something, but also it eats into the audience that many people don't know when you might be on. So what I am now considering is that we make it a daily affair from Monday to Friday. We close the week with our Friday hangout. Every day, 45 minutes live stream, 45 minutes max 1 hour. Then on Fridays, we have our Friday hangout. Where so many of you have issues that we do have our Friday hangouts with something to drink. But again, that is the fun of it. So people, once more, where are you watching me from? So let's know if you, let me see if actually, okay, you can hear me now. Thank you very much. That is Prince Masson. Many of you are from the United States of America. Very clear, from Anambra State, Nigeria. Thank you very much. KSA, what state is KSA? Is that Kansas? Yeah, loud and clear. Watching from Cyprus. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I am still Maziezo, okay? Onye dot, the dotted one, the unapologetically dotted. Who doesn't like me being dotted? You can go to the nearest transformer and do the needful. But the challenge is there is no transformer in Nigeria that can kill, because the transformers in Nigeria are now without electricity. Electricity has gone from top to bottom. Electricity in Nigeria has really gone from top to bottom. Mazi Dubem Larry, thank you very much. Obinna Churchill Ezama is watching from the United Kingdom, Manchester to be precise. So do you agree that we make my show every Friday, every day, 7 o'clock? Is that a good time for us? So 7 o'clock Nigerian time. Nam de Jago says, loud and clear from Deutschland. Ja, ich begrüße euch. Ich begrüße dich. Wie geht's dir, junger Mann? Oder, ne, doch, das ist Namdi. Namdi ist doch ein junger Mann. So, Leute, people. Mohammed Aminu MJ, thank you. Like, seriously, come and try put your come and try put your inside. Mohammed, you know Nigeria is from top to bottom. Nigeria has gone from top to bottom. Anyway, so people, let's get on. Let's crack on. What is it that we are going to be talking about? Atiku, as you all know, has not made his running mate very clear. We do not know who is going to be his running mate. There is this rumor that three governors from the South are likely. No. I did agree. Okay. No, thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you. So he agrees 7 o'clock. Anyway, if because I'm here for you guys, let me know the best time for me to be online for you. Put it in the comment section. Anytime you're putting is Nigerian time. Is this 7 o'clock Nigerian time? I don't want to be converting the European American time or anything. Just put it in Nigerian time. That's what we're talking about. Now, let me come back to the discussion. Atiku, there is this rumor that Atiku wants to pick a governor from the South. And that governor could be Yeson Wike. That governor could be the governor of Delta State, Okowa, or the governor of governor of Cross Rivers, governor of Akwa Ibom, Emmanuel Udoma. So these are three candidates. 8 p.m. Okay, 8 p.m. So let's see who wins. Mazid Ben says 8 p.m. Let's see who wins. I'm at your service. If 8 p.m. is going to make you guys to come online, then that's fine. There'll be it. If it's 7 o'clock, that's fine. So now, what are the strengths and weaknesses of all these candidates? Recall that we had, before Mr. Peter B. Dekan, we did have two governors from the Southeast in play. And these governors were Onye Ikpeazu, that is the last governor by his name, Ikpeazu, and as so many of you call him, I don't want to repeat what many of you call him, is the governor in Enugu, who, for some reason, it appears the reason why they did not actually support the Southeast presidency was that they were hoping that one of them would be picked. But as it is now, none of them has been picked, and none of them is likely to be picked. So from all indications, it appears, because from Mr. Peter B is in the Southeast, that any one of them, in order to counteract obviously, that by Peter B being in the Labour Party and by PDP not zoning the presidency to the Southeast, since the Southeast haven't really served and worked their backside off for the PDP, it is very understandable that the Southeast is very, very angry with PDP, myself included. And therefore, because the Southeast is very, very angry with the PDP, it's going to be reflective in the voting pattern come 2023. You can save this video. I'm not kidding you. You're going to see what you have never seen in the last 23 years, or rather in the last 22 years. It has never happened that the Southeast would vote in the pattern they're going to vote this time around when it concerns PDP. Having said that, that is for Atiku. I don't know. Let's get it going. Let's, the poll is ongoing. 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock is there. It appears those wanting 8 o'clock are about to win. But if you also think that 7 o'clock is good, please put your time in there. Now, who do you think, among all these men that I have mentioned, who do you think would be the better fit for this post? Who do you think for the PDP? Who do you think? Get yourself also, let's get engaged here. Who do you think will be the better match for Atiku come 2023 as a VP? Because this is going to happen this week anyway. It has to happen this week. I think the last date, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, it should be on the 19th or anything. But let's see. So who do you think is a better fit for Atiku? Then for the Wee and Wee and the Wee Master, you know, for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the as Mayegun calls him, the Jaga Bandits, and the I call him the grandpa, you know. Anyway, let's that's on a lighter note. If looking at it this evening, something emerged, a support group that supports Ganduje, the Gandola, you know, the one that stuffs his agbada with with the dollars. Um, Story has it that he is likely to be picked by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A story that Injanja Media published before now has it, and again, this is a call for duty for many of you who wants to be receiving this message, on your phone. You can kindly join Injanja Media Telegram group or Injanja Media WhatsApp group. If you any of the news article you click on Injanja Media, you will see join Telegram and join WhatsApp. So if you join anytime any of the news is published, any breaking news, it comes on your handset. It's there. So try as much as possible to make use of that. So now, according to this news that was published earlier today, it says that indications have emerged that the All Progressive Confidence has picked the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, aka Gandola, as the preferred running mate for the party presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the 2023 elections, the media report. Now, according to this revelation, as contained in a press release released today by the director of Ganduje Support Group, Suleiman Magaji, and made available to news people, including Injanja Media. The statement also revealed that APC National Working Committee narrowed down the choice of Tinubu's running mate to the incumbent Kano State government on the basis, again, loyalty, commitment, and infrastructural development of his state. See? Now, there are people before now who were thinking that Dogara from Gombe, former Speaker, National House of Assembly, that people also muted that he could also be the one to be picked. But as it is now, it appears that is not the case, that is likely to go to the northwest in order to counter what we're going to discuss next. Now comes Kwankwaso. For some reason, there is nobody that is being tipped for Kwankwaso. Rather, what we hear is that Kwankwaso and Peter Obi are in conversation. I am not saying that is official, but one thing that we can all take to the bank is that there appears to be a conversation between those two camps. How are they going to work it out? I do not know. I have no idea. But one thing is very clear. From Bauchi, yes. Dogara from Bauchi, you're correct, not Gumbe. Mohammed, thank you very much. So, Mohammed, who do you think that Kwankwaso will pick? Do you think that the deal for Kwankwaso and Peter Obi to come together, and do you think if Kwankwaso and Peter Obi, if they come together, that they will beat Atiku and Tinubu? Do you think that is a fair deal? And again, when people talk about, Peter Obi doesn't have structures, and people forget that human beings are the structures, and that the youth, with the energy and the vibes that they have, they are now coming together, say, we are giving our support and to the younger generation and to someone like Mr. Peter Obi. What do you think? Do you think that is going to work, that eventually a Kwankwaso and a Peter Obi will emerge? Or that the two parties will fuse together? If the two parties fuses together to produce president, and vice president. Who do you think should be the president, and who do you think should be the vice? Many of you already say that Peter Obi should be the president. Let Kwankwaso be the vice. Would Kwankwaso agree to be the vice to um, Peter Obi, knowing that Buhari is from the northwest, Castina. Kwankwaso is from the northwest, Kano. So if Kwankwaso insists, isn't that going to work against him? That if he insists of becoming the president, and how would people think, oh, how can someone from northwest, after becoming president, another person from northwest is trying to become president again? Is that going to, work against him? Mohammed says that, well, clearly that Peter Obi does not have the structure to win presidency. I don't think that is correct, Mohammed. I tell you for the following reasons. As we speak now, the election, we have about 8 months to this election. People are donating their houses free of charge. People are meeting. People are producing posters. People are doing every single thing. People are joining the Labour Party from the ward level, ground up, to build these structures. Can these structures be built in 6 months? Yes, it's possible. It's only the will of the people. Building these structures is like building a duplex. You can actually build with enough manpower and enough resources. You can actually build a duplex in 3 months, in 2 months, even if they work day and night. You can actually, a house that probably took your father, your brother 3 years to build. And when they build, they say, okay, let us leave the house so that rain will fall on the blocks, so that the blocks will set very well before we plaster. That is a sign of someone who probably is not well resourced. But if you have the resources, which is clearly human and clearly finance, why not? You can. And that is exactly, in my view, what is happening now with this Labour Party, that the aggressiveness of building this structure is immense. Many of you wouldn't know unless you come close or unless you're involved. The intensity is something out of this world. Okay, it says you can explain in terms of structure, but again, what we in Nigeria then understand as structure is the corrupt nature of structure, where people think, like yesterday, someone chatted me up saying, Mazi, I want to dump the PDP structure. I said, Kilo happen. He said, no, they've given me Hilux truck to work for them. And this person I'm talking about is from a state in the Northwest. But I said, why do you want to dump the PDP with the Hilux van they've given you? Are you aware where you are intending to go has no structure, quote unquote, and they can't give you money, not even for data, and they have no money to even pay you? He said, no. For some reason, he wants to be very clear and deal with his conscience. It struck me that someone is going to reject a Hilux truck given to him to go work for another person free of charge, knowing fully well ab initio, before he even starts, that there is no money to be shared. All people can now say to him is, okay, go and verify. What do you think? Garcia says no politician is actually addressing Nigerian problem. I think sir, if you don't mind, I will beg to differ. I think there are some people that are telling you this is where the problem is. We are a consuming nation. We would have to work to get ourselves out of the the quagmire. And Remix Leo says that Peter Obi should be the president and Kwankwaso should be the vice. I mean, these are opinions, and these opinions are all over. These opinions are all over the place. So feel free to air your view, because your view matters. Your views matters because on this platform, we try to take the view of everybody. We do not censor anything. Here, we address one another and we respect one another. So, again, let me one his structures. Some of you, yeah, I think many of you are actually rooting for Peter Obi to be the president and Kwankwaso to be the vice. And this one is, again, many of you keep it coming. Peter Kwa, some of you are, Papa Obi Nonye, don't allow us to find you one keg of palm wine. How can you say Peter Kwa 2023? So that means Peter Kwankwaso 2023. You're doing it as if it's all these their traditional marriage where they put in this person first name and the other person first name and they jam them, mix them together, and it becomes something. So people, let us look at the next part of this is where there is this conversation and there is this noise about Peter Obi going to Egypt. And I'm like, what for? My good brother and friend, Jackson Ude, tweeted saying that Peter Obi lied, that he didn't go to understudy anything, that he went for a summit in Egypt. And everybody is going frenzy about that. Oh, why didn't he go to Ekiti? He should have gone to Ekiti to campaign. And I say, cut him some slack, people. Why would he go to Ekiti to campaign in an election that is almost determined? In an election where the Labour Party and the candidate in that state already collapsed and moved to APC. So going to Ekiti would then amount to campaigning for APC. So, but some of us who probably may not have this information may just sit there and be thinking, oh, this should have happened, the other should have happened. But again, you know that information rules the world. If you have these informations at the tip of your fingers, you may begin to understand. Now, let's go to the Arise studio and, get this conversation going with the wonderful men and ladies in the studio, including OG, Rufai, Ruben.
That's Nigeria. He needs to, get a grip.
Chill, it's not funny.
Yeah.
You're right. Well, we'll take another story. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, elicited reactions on social media on Tuesday after he announced that he was taking a trip to learn about various sectors of the Egyptian economy. The former Anambra State governor announced the trip via his official Twitter handle, stating that the 3-day visit to the North African country is to understudy its power, education, planning, and finance sectors. Let's take some reactions. This is from Michael, who wrote, "Dear Mr. Peter Obi, going to Egypt for a comparative analysis is a big no-no. The solutions to Nigeria's problems are simple. 1, remodel the 1999 Constitution. 2, change the revenue sharing formula. 3, resource control. 4, devolution to local government areas and states." Well, Aisha Yusufu wrote, "Every little opportunity you have to make an inroad, make an impact, and connect with people, you grab it. Let me repeat, Peter Obi should have been in Ekiti and not Egypt." Well, sure, wrote, "Had Peter Obi traveled to Egypt to learn how to fix education and power problems? This is exactly the problem with unprepared candidates. It is 9 months to election, and a 2-term governor and former vice presidential candidate wants to go learn something from Egypt in 3 days. Wow, hashtag we can't continue like this." Well, sure also took a swipe at Peter Obi and the Labour Party in a video that made the rounds on social media on Monday, stating that the Labour Party has become an orphanage for homeless politicians, and that the reason Peter Obi left the People's Democratic Party was because they outplayed him with transactional politicking. He also accused Peter Obi of lying to the electorate ahead of the 2023 election. Let's take a listen before we come back for a discussion.
And this whole party become an orphanage for politicians that are homeless. It didn't take long before our man ran there when he became homeless. The reason Obi left PDP was because they outplayed him with transactional politicking. said you were governor of Anambra State. When you were governor, did you build any schools, universities that your children could attend? The question is no. Why are you lying? Did you build any hospitals in that state that you can go for treatment if you fall sick? If it is no, why are you lying? Did you do any quality roads? If it's no, why are you lying?
Oh, well, fine. What do you say? This is politics. Peter Obi did very well in Anambra State, and everybody knows that. There are hospitals, there are good roads that Peter Obi initiated. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I think before Rufai says anything, permit me to say the following. While I do respect my good brother and friend, Omoyele Sowore, very, very well for his tenacity, for his doggedness, for his activism, and all he does, to encourage the youth. But I would also respectfully disagree with my good brother Sowore here. It is unfair to say that Peter Obi was the governor and he did nothing in education. Sowore, you are a publisher, and I do not want to lecture you, but if I may, I would ask you to go find out where Anambra State was in 2004, 5, in 2006. In the WAEC result ranking, Anambra State was number 27 in 2006. By 2012, Anambra State has already ranked number 1. That is from 27 to number 1. It didn't happen out of nothing. It happened because someone came who started implementing the MDG goal, the Millennium Development Goal, which was localized and called Anambra State, I think ANIS, or whatever it's called. ANIS, yes. It didn't happen by accident. In terms of the health sector, it did fantastically well. That you can only say if Obiano had continued in that trajectory. You had hospitals that were not accredited, ENO and Co. You had university. Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University was not there. He was the one that built it. He was the one that created it. No school in Anambra State, and there was no school in Anambra State that didn't get a vehicle, like what they call here in Nigeria, it's called Hummer bus. 21 17-seater buses were distributed to the school. Every single traditional ruler in Anambra State got an IVN SUV. Every single school in Anambra State got school buses. Every town in Anambra State had vigilante buses or vigilante trucks, what you call hillocks. But all these were made in Anambra as well, using one stone to kill 2 birds. It also doesn't speak right that I know this is politics, but again, some of us wouldn't let that just pass by for anyone to make such unguarded comments that is fake and unverified, that is actually outright fake, and just let it be. But before I do the whole talking, let me allow the Arise team to also chip in their own thoughts here.
My very good friend Shora should get his facts right.
Yes.
If you want to check, the impact on education, check WAEC results.
Just like I said.
Empirical fact that WAEC results increased in Anambra State under Peter Obi. It was from an abysmal rate and it went up.
Exactly.
I went to the project with Microsoft, where the Anambra State Commissioner for Education, she finally became a very good friend, always will come to partner with partner with Microsoft on kits for the schools, and we see the story. And she tells the story effectively as regards the educational sector. Concerning healthcare, I don't know anything about hospitals, but the education sector I know, I'll say. All of these people, all of them go to medicals abroad. And that's another part. And we've all heard them say they're going to end people going for medicals abroad. How much hospitals have they built? How much hospital will they build? Qualitative hospitals that will help the people? It behoves on them. But as regards education, I can say. The second part of going to Egypt or not going to Egypt, I think the problems are crystal clear here. I think we can tackle the problems here. We know Nigeria's problem. You don't need to travel far to be able to, look for solutions. We can develop homemade solutions.
I think here I disagree also with my good brother and my good friend Rufai. I disagree with you. You need to go far, especially within the African context, to find the fact. Fact is that these data that I have here, quickly, let me see if I can bring it up to the screen. This data that I have here has in 2014, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, and Tunisia were the top 5 countries, countries, or rather the best African countries to invest in 2014. Today, in 2021, Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Rwanda, and Botswana are the top 5 African countries to invest in. How come? In the top 10, the last there is Tanzania. Suddenly, Nigeria is not even there. 2014, Nigeria was number 2. In 2021, Tanzania has taken over Nigeria. I think Nigeria dropped to the place 24 or something like that. So if you understand that and understand what Egypt is doing, Egypt is pulling 600,000 people away from poverty, from slums, and giving them very fantastic building, giving them that free of charge, and that is within 3 years. Egypt has increased their power production. Do you know, for the first time, Nigeria yesterday, our power generation left thousands and gone to 609. 609 yesterday. You know what that means? A very big cat generator can actually do that, generate that. That's a nation of 200 and plus people, 200 and plus thousand people. That is a disgrace. Jonathan left when Professor Barton Naji left as Minister of Power. Nigeria was about 7,000 megawatts. 7,000. Jonathan left about 8,000. Today, I went to Enugu Disco. Just go. Google it. Go to Twitter. Go to Enugu Disco. Go to Abuja Disco. They push out this information, these stats every single day. Today, Nigeria is generating about 2,407. We have lost over 60%. We couldn't even maintain the 8,000 plus. We are just going down every single day, When we say Nigeria has gone from top to bottom, some of us would think it's just a music or it's just something for play. We have really gone from tough to bottom.
ABC, Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom.
We have really gone from top to bottom because it's not anything to make joke of. But that's what the reality that stares us in the face today. That's what that reality is. There is no gainsaying in that. So where I say I disagree with my good brother Rufai is when he now talks about we should not compare. No, there is what we call comparative analysis. He's not good. This is not China. This is not Malaysia. This is African country that is close by. If we do not benchmark, how do you progress? You need to look at, these are people, they've gone through military coup, they've gone through the same thing we have here. How is it that they are able in the last 7 years, bearing in mind that this same government is here 7 years, yet Egypt is moving forward. Infrastructure-wise, they are on top. Technology-wise, Egypt is, what is it? So for Peter to now go understudy their technology, whatever, in 3 days, he's not the expert. But when you sit down with some people, you have heart-to-heart conversation. I'm a project manager. I'm in the project industry. There is what we call lessons learned. There are lessons you learn in one project. You can take some of the transferable lessons and skills and move them into another project without necessarily understanding the second project. But these are these things that once you begin to look at it, these things dispassionately, you may begin to understand, oh, there are things Egypt did. How come Egypt was able to, walk around the issue of corruption that has to deal with procurement? How come Egypt was able to get these agreements with German company or Chinese company or whatever? What type of agreement do you need to make sure that these things happen, How is it that you're able to do this? When you hear these things in anticipation, one thing he should only tell us is, he tells us a thinking person, a man who wants to be ready. By any chance Nigeria elects him, he's not going to stand there and tell you that ministers are just mere noisemakers, that they add no value, and 6 months down the line, including 3 months that he was president-elect, making it 9 months after winning the election, close to 1 year, and only thing that was working was body language. Body language fixed the NNPC. We have seen how fantastic the NNPC now works. We now refine all the oil that we now distribute to the whole West African sub-region. In fact, we are now exporting our refined oil to the United Kingdom. That is the Nigeria that we have today. A Nigeria that has gone from
ABC, Nigeria, from top to bottom.
We have indeed come from top to bottom. Anyway, but that is me responding to that comment made there by Rufai. But Rufai, you may now go ahead.
What I expect the presidential candidates to be doing is to be looking for Nigerian experts that can develop homemade solutions to Nigerian problems.
You do that when you then come back. You come back, you begin to do that, right?
All right? What is the Nigerian solution? That should be our focus here. And tell you what, we can actually develop our homegrown solutions using assistance from other parts, but copying what works here. We all know the problem of the power sector here. The grid, the stock, what is it gas or other things, shortage of gas and things like that, vandalization and things like that. And the problems as regards transmission, unbundling, transmission company of Nigeria, and the problems, with the discos and telcos. We can make homegrown solutions as regards those problems, even the economy and education. So what we should ask our people to do is to bring Nigerian thinkers and technocrats in the room to create homegrown solutions that can work for Nigeria, and in turn this can fit into the manifesto we can get to look at, and have a model in place where we can hold you accountable by what you say you'll do in the manifesto. And when you go against this, let us put up strong institutions in place that will make us start movement for impeaching you when you go against the things you say you tell us.
I agree.
Because you see, your manifesto
I agree.
is actually a social contract, just like the words of John Jacques Rousseau will always say. There's a social contract between the politicians and the people.
All right, Dr. Batim, would you like to respond to Aisha Yusuf's tweet saying that whether Peter Obi should have been in Ekiti rather than going to...
Well, I already commented on this subject in extenso earlier on, but as for Aisha Yusufu, yes, she's right. She was saying that Mr. Peter Obi should have been in Ekiti because the election in Ekiti is on Saturday.
Yes.
And you found yesterday 14 APC governors, plus the chairman of the APC, plus Ashwa Yubola Ahmed Tinubu, the standard bearer of the APC, going there to support Biodun Oyebanji, the man popularly known as DAO of the APC, gubernatorial candidate in Ekiti State. So I think that's where Aisha Yusufu is coming from, that there is a critical election in Ekiti in which, according to INEC, there are 16 candidates. One of those parties that has, a candidate on the ballot is the Labour Party, and that perhaps Mr. Peter Obi should have mobilized support, since he will also need votes from Ekiti State and other parts where elections may happen. Secondly, the Ekiti election on Saturday is going to be a litmus test for INEC. INEC having declared before now that it would deploy, to start testing the new processes, electronic transmission of results, electronic confirmation of the voters' list, beginning from Ekiti. Shouldn't the candidates be interested in that also? And then the third point that has been made, however, is that some people say, oh, Labour Party may not be so strong in Ekiti State.
Right,
that is not true.
Yeah.
Yes, because, okay, INEC even went from, or maybe some analysts went from 16 candidates. They say, oh, there was a debate that only 6 persons took part in it, but that is likely to be a 3-horse race. The APC, which has a former secretary to the state government, the PDP, which has a former commissioner who is said to be supported by former Governor Fayose, the APC governor candidate by incumbent Governor Fayemi, and third, Sheguni, former governor, on the SDP. But who says, that only those 3 would be in the race? What of the other candidates? The Labour Party is also relatively strong in Ekiti State. So that's where Aisha Yusufu is coming from.
Now, here, sorry, Dr. Abati, I think I disagree with you again. For some reason, I'm not agreeing with all of you this evening, but it's fine. It shows we all are free thinkers. Because we are free thinkers and we are Republicans, we mustn't agree on anything. But nonetheless, why I say I am not agreeing with you this evening, Doctor, my good friend, is very simple. Ekiti. You cannot apply the strategy of running around like a headless chicken in everything. You cannot do that. You know why you couldn't? Because why I support the idea of not going to Ekiti is in an election where the flag bearer of the party is already pledging support with the structure to the APC. Again, I phantom not why anyone will think it is right to then go and campaign. If he goes to Ekiti to campaign, it will then amount that he was going or he has gone to campaign for the opposition party. It's simple. It's a landmine. Listen, this is a mind game. I'm explaining it, I'm breaking it down for many of us. He couldn't have done that. He couldn't have done that. Was everything equal that you have a strong governor who is, governorship candidate who is saying, no, I'm not stepping down for anyone? Yes, then it becomes an issue. Where is the party chairman? Why is it that you don't have the even the Labour Party chairman there? You think they don't know anything that is happening? Of course, they know these things. They know that this guy is run away, he's collapsed the party. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh. It's like when we are given English as a lingua franca, but we adopted our version of English in what today is broken. You see, one thing I'm saying is no matter how you look at it, especially my good brother, Mohammed here, I do also not agree with you because Mohammed is saying that he has gone there to understand, to study, understudy what. Listen, Mohammed, education, he knows it, he understands it, he has implemented it in his own state, and it worked. You saw, this is not, oh, we are going to improve on education. No. He saw him improved on education, that Anambra State that was 26th in WAEC. Anambra is not the head of WAEC. Neither is Anambra the head of whatever. He improved it, and what are the things he did? He made sure children have access to computer, access to learning materials, gave them learning materials, built schools. In 2007, people, the school, Mazezoke, built in my own community. He came, that was when he was a governor. He came to commission this school. He came to commission it. I didn't know him then, but when he heard that someone came and was building school, renovating schools, giving it back to the society. 2007. So let some of you think, well, I'm no longer a child. So if you add 2000, it's about 15 years now. 15 years ago, we started. So when we believe that education is the key, that's why sometimes it hurts me so much when we talk about this issue of amajorism. Because I believe that if we channel these kids, if we channel their energy, their intellect, their learning process, channel it and organize it properly, these children will turn out better. But sadly, what we have today is a set of religion, cultural affinity that destroys the mindset, and also these kids are left in their cares are also abusing these kids morally, sexually, and otherwise, and also, warping their minds that, if care is not taken, it's already haunting us, but it might do more damage than it is currently doing. So I do also believe, forget what you read in the social media. Yes, there are other summits, because it's not, that guy is a workaholic. If you ever work with him, your toes will be paining you. There are these summits. In the day, you can have these summits. You can still interface in the evening, visit where you want to visit, do these things. 3 days, fully jam-packed. With 4 or 5 hours of sleep, that's more than enough. You get these things done. Becoming a president or coming to fix a country is not tea party. It's a damn serious business. And that cannot be done by those who we at any given time. Their cloth is soaked. Don't know when any of you saw the picture that came out yesterday. I don't want to share it, but you can see the front of the disc. And I say, okay, you have money now. Even if it's not, to go and buy what the Germans call Vinder. The English call it elder, whatever, pamper. There is one they call pull-up pants. Pull-up pants. You pull it up. Even if the thing they drop, okay, give me contract, I go buy and they say I give you. You pull it up, the pull-up pants, even if the thing they drop, they soak them, they come out for your clothes. Enough of this embarrassment. Eh? And again, if if they say make you hold the flag, say party chairman go they do your hand like this. Now small, you go do them before. When say they don't, they bring that thing. You go first of all, they do as if they box somebody. Now so they warm your hand, they stretch them out, they warm up, they warm up, they warm up, they warm up, stretch them. Before you go they leave them like this. You go carry this hand, come carry them like this. So you go hold them. So make the thing no comfort like Nigeria from top to bottom. People, this evening, I think is enough. Let's not make this longer than necessary. But, I will take your comment and let's have the last couple of minutes just to interact with one another. But I think my thinking and my belief here is that visit was more than necessary. In fact, he should, listen, for me, because there is enough time, he shouldn't even stop there. If he comes back, he should find time to go to Zimbabwe, Rwanda. He should find time to go to Botswana. He should, those countries that are getting it right, at least within the mother continent, he should find time to know what they are doing right. How are they fighting corruption? The only thing that those people will come and learn from us is how to do delegate voting. You know what I mean? How to do delegate voting. How to surprise. My friend, Professor Kinsley Moore, I am still in shock on his behalf. How to do that level of delegate voting that a man who is supposed to emerge victoriously suddenly, boom, like a lion just coming out of nowhere and the cheetah is gone, or rather the antelope is gone. Just like that. That is what Nigeria does, and that is what we know how to do. And because we know how to do it, you see, in the words of Professor Yemi Sibanjo, he says, that is where we are, that's where we are. That is the reason, and that is why we are where we are. So people, so why can't he reschedule his visit? Why would he reschedule his visit? What is there anything he's doing for you why he couldn't go? You know, why he should be there? Zimbabwe better pass Nigeria. He should go. No. You look at indices, people. Sadly, I couldn't pull these on, but I can show you here. The indices are as follows. Let me see if you can see it. Can you? No. Okay, you can't. No. Can you see it? No. The indices are as follows. The top countries to invest in Africa is Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Rwanda, Botswana, Ghana, Mauritius, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, and Nigeria. Then tell me where the giant working on the mosquito lives. Where is it? The giant, some call him the giant of Africa, but they are working on a mosquito limb. Yeah. Okay, you say you want to hear Tundu's. Okay, let's bring Tundu's. You know, I'm a feminist.
Another person who made the same claim is DG Adeyanju. But after my initial comments, I've seen some people reacting via social media saying, "What is my problem?" After all, Peter Obi is using his money to go and see the Pharaoh. And we should not have a headache since he's using his own money. Right. He's free to go wherever he likes. Right. So there are many perspectives.
Tundu, a quick comment before we take
I mean, it's only 3 days. Yes. I don't understand this hoopla. And I do always see social media as this negative echo chamber where each person wants to critique the next person. It's completely unnecessary as far as I'm concerned. It's a 3-day trip. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. If a person traverses the whole country, all 36 states, in the run-up to the primaries, he has gone around Nigeria. He has a feel. He can go abroad for 3 days and come back and continue the work of campaigning. I fail to see the big deal here.
Tundu, you cannot be more correct. We shall take our final story. The governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi.
You see, that is my view
as the of Ogun State at the All Progressives Congress rally in Ekiti State, in what appears to be an imitation of APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu's jibe and the governor during his outburst in Abeokuta. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
Aligns with my view. What is the fuss about? Why is everybody talking about it's going to, even there are videos. I didn't want to play this video to be as if so some of us not feel as if it's condescending. You can see the same video where people were videoing him in a flight to Egypt. He was in the same class with them, not in a secluded class where you couldn't come and meet him. He was in the same class with them. And many of you who fly would understand what I mean, in the same class with them. And people were just basically people on the same flight going to Egypt. But I don't know, so many of you, our VIP, I've never had the misfortune, or I have never had the fortune of meeting any of them. Even when I do, I can comfortably say that I'm a frequent flyer. Having visited 64 countries of this world, I can relatively, maybe before I die, I want to, as a dream, just make it a round number, 100 countries of this world. That's why I'm the Waka Waka man, onion ginger man. That's why. But what I'm trying to say here, people, no matter how we dice it, no matter how we cut it, I believe this trip is good. Now, so many of you are saying, little wonder Rwanda can sponsor Arsenal jersey. Oh dear, Rwanda is doing much better. Egypt trade with Nigeria in the 90s was like what Nigeria is with Dubai today. Honestly, thank you, Mazi, so much. And I was wrapped with all the rest. Okay, yeah, thank you. So Amaka, he does not need to be in Ekiti. He has to has his own pace. I agree. Well, while I agree with that, but I think the point that I keep repeating here is that Ekiti State election, by the virtue of what the contestant has done, is in averance, is not in tandem with what anybody should do. A person who has collapsed the current structure that he's running on and pledging allegiance to the All Progressive candidate, All Progressive Congress, you couldn't, in good conscience, once that has happened, you have your presidential aspirant or your party chairman coming into that state to campaign for you. For what? Any campaign you've done on that premise is a campaign for your opposition or the ruling party in that state. Recall that APC is still the ruling party. Rather than do that, the energy in the last 3 days, in the next 3 days, will be used to ensure that at the local level, the grassroots, at the councillor level, at the chairmanship level, at the state level, at state assembly level, across board, that Labour begin to position people that will contest for these posts. And Labour begin to build this structure because, amazingly, the youth are offering their services. The youth are offering, to do a lot for Labour Party pro bono without charging them anything. Basically, giving them, and it's not for conversation today. But a lot is, people, when I say a lot is happening, a lot is happening. For those of you who may wish to get involved, you may wish to go to the p2bsupportnetwork.com or .org. It doesn't matter either of them. You will land in the same place. If you want to donate, if you want to support, you can go ahead. I think they have in their donation as well. But one thing is very clear, and I will close with the following. 2023 is a very decisive year. The year that the youth will know, do they still need to have confidence in this nation and believe in it and believe that it has something for them, or is it time to either japa or look for something else and see if there is anything else anyway. On that note, I say thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. And I am still Mazes. Okay. Nigeria, according to Buhari, we didn't know it, told us that Nigeria has gone from top to bottom. We have to get Nigeria to go from from consumption to production, from bottom to top. That which Buhari has said, we must work seriously to ensure that we reverse that. I am Mazes. Okay. Join me tomorrow once more. What time did we agree now? 7, 8, 7, 8. So let's do the final confirmation. The first 5, 7, 8. What time did we agree again? 7, 8. Hey, Lucas said, I see P2B movement like Obama movement. Yes, I do also agree. I do also agree with that. 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. Okay, 7. The 7 have it. Or the 8 have it. Huh? Which one? What time? Finally. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much for being part of this. And I am still Mazi Ezoke. We have now gone from
ABC, Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
This one I say is all tumbling. I will do the water. Everything is not funny. They will play the ball. I play. My neighbor press ball. He close the ball apart.
ABC, Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
This one I say is all tumbling. I will do the water. Everything is not funny. They will play the ball.